Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk about a new chapter, chapter 12, standard deviation, standard deviation. Alright, why do we need to learn about standard deviation? Okay, the fact is, in the previous videos, alright, we have talked about the idea of the spread. Alright, we have talked about the idea of the spread of a data set. And we have used some measure, we have already learned some measures to tell us about the spread of a data set. So example like the range of a data set and the interquartile range of a data set. So these are the two measures or two possible measures to talk about the spread of a data set. Okay, but today we are going to talk about a new measure which is a better measure compared to the first two. Okay, so this is a better measure, to talk about the spread of a data set. So this better measure is called standard deviation. So I'm going to use a shorthand SD to represent standard deviation. Okay, this is a better measure compared to the previous two, the range and the interquartile range. And if you have problems understanding the range and the interquartile range, you are welcome to watch the previous videos on these two measures. Right? So let's move on to the next page. Okay, before we talk about the formula for standard deviation, I think it's good to talk about or give you an idea of a new notation. Okay, this is a summation notation. Which we call sigma. Alright, this is a summation notation which we call sigma in statistics. Alright, so for example, if you have let me start off with this. Okay, so let's say if you have a few numbers. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So over here you have 5 numbers, right? So if you want to find out the sum of these 5 numbers, so what are you going to do is, the sum is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Alright, and then the answer is 5. So you have 3 times 5, so it's 15. Alright, so this is one way to find out the sum of these 5 numbers. Okay, and another way to represent these 5 numbers is you can actually do this. Alright, use a summation sign. Alright, and use your xi over here and tell people your I start from 1 and it ends at what? It ends at 5. Right? Okay, the reason is over here, what this notation or summation notation means is you are going to find out your x1 until your x5. Alright, so that's why you need to tell people this I equals to 1 is your lower range and this will be your upper range. Alright, so you need to sum up all these numbers here. So in this case, you have your x1 is 1, right? And then your x2 is 2, and of course 3 and 4 and 5. Therefore you get 15. Alright, so please get used to this summation notation. Alright, so that you can actually find out the standard deviation using a formula later on. Okay, we are going to use this summation sign later on. Alright, so now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, over here you have a question. The question says the prices of 5 set lunches are $3, $4, $6, $8, and $12. And your job is to find out the mean and the standard deviation of the prices. Okay, so before I move on to find out the mean and the standard deviation, so let's look at the formula. Okay, let's look at the formula to find out the mean and the standard deviation. All right, so okay, the formula is here. Okay, let me move it here. Okay, so what do you see here? The mean here is, can you see here? Okay, the formula for the mean. Okay, so you can see the formula is pretty complicated, okay, at first glance. All right, so before I go into the formula, I would like to set up a table. All right, let me set up a table. Okay, let me set up a 2x6 table. Okay, later on you will realize why I need a table. All right, so let me get a table out. Okay, so this will be my table. All right, so the first column I will call it the frequency column. Okay, let me just use a short form. And the next column I will call it I will use a letter X to represent it. Okay, so over here, this $3, $4, $6, $8, and $12. Okay, so therefore over here is in terms of dollars. All right, so the first data you key into this table is 3, and then how many 3 you have? You have 1, right? Okay, so for the next one, $4, you also have 1 4. The frequency of 4 is only 1 because it appears only once, right? So the next is $6, and you also have only 1 6, so the frequency is 1. And subsequently you have 8, and the frequency for 8 is also 1 because you only have 1 8. And therefore, last but not least, you have your 12, and then the frequency of 12 is also 1. Okay, so with this table, okay, in fact, your job is half done. Okay, I will tell you what. So if you can see from your formula for the mean, okay, the numerator here is what? The numerator here is summation of your fx. All right, so the numerator here is, let me write it here. Let me write it properly. So it's summation of fx. So what it means is, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find out what is my fx, okay, for each row. So fx is, this column will be my fx. So fx means f times x. All right, so it's 1 times 3. So 1 times 3 I get 3, right? So subsequently 1 times 4 I get 4. 1 times 6 I get 6, and 8 and 12. All right, so this will be my column of fx. Okay, and my job now is to sum up my fx. Okay, or I would say the summation of all fx values. So they are all here, right? Okay, because this is your sigma, which is your summation sign, and what you need to do, just sum up all fx value. So you have 3, 4, 6, 8, and 12. And what do you get? So just use your calculator, or if not, you can actually, this is 10, this is 12, so it's 10, 11, 12. So what do you get? So 10, 11, 12, you will get 33. Okay, so you get 33. Of course, you can use a calculator, all right? So you don't have to use your mental calculation. All right, so now you have figured out what your numerator is here already. All right, and then look at the denominator. The denominator says summation of f. So by the way, this is your f. All right, so you just sum up the f. So they are all 1, right? So how many 1 you have? So just add them all up. So you have 2, 3, actually you have 5 of them, okay, not 6 of them. So 5 of them, you'll get 5. And then based on the formula to find mean, so your mean is equal to 33 divided by 5. And that will give you what? That will give you, let me double check the answer. Okay, you should get 6.6. Alright? Okay, so I have explained how you can make use of the mean formula to find out the mean of this dataset. Alright, so let's continue to look at how can we find the standard deviation. Okay, the standard deviation formula looks even more daunting, right? More scary, right? But just follow with me. Okay, just look at this term first. Okay, I hope you can see this term is actually this. Alright, so what you can do is, because we have found out our mean already, so this is actually your mean, right? Can you see it? So this term, okay, so let's I hope you can pay attention. Okay, let me do it again. So let's focus on this term first inside the bracket. This term is nothing but the mean. Okay, can you see it? Okay, so I give you a few seconds to appreciate it. Alright, so this is actually the mean. Alright, this is actually the mean. So what I can do is I can actually cross this out and replace it with the mean. Okay, so in fact I don't have to find the mean, okay, because I already found it here, right? So now your job is to find out what is this, right? What is this? So let's pick this out and write it here. Okay, so pick this out and write it here. Alright, okay, so let's look at the numerator first. So the numerator is this. So the numerator says we need to find out the summation of our fx square, by the way. Alright, so summation of this fx square. So before you can do the summation of fx square, so it makes sense to find out what is your x square first, right? Right. So I'm going to establish another column. Alright. So or even before that, before your fx square, you should establish your x square column first. Alright. So let's go with x square first. So x square is 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 6 times 6 is 36, 8 times 8 is 64, 12 times 12 is 144. Alright, and now you can actually find out your fx square. So fx square is f times x square. Okay, so your f, so you just look at your this. Okay, let me just erase some of this first. Okay, so your f is 1. So 1 times 9 is 9. That's your fx square. And 1 times 16 is 16. So 1 times 36 is 36. So 1 times 64 is 64. So 1 times 144 is 144. Okay, remember, take your f, which is your number here, times your x squared. So you will get another column. So now what you can do is you can find out the summation of your fx squared already, because you have your each fx squared, right? So this will be your each fx squared. And to find the summation of them, what you do, just add them all up, right? So if you add them all up, you will get 9 plus 16 plus 36 plus 64 plus 144. Alright? And over, okay, your denominator is summation of f. Summation of f means 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You have 5 of them here, right? Okay? We did this just now. So now, you can actually figure it out with your calculator, right? So let me take out my calculator and figure out what is my denominator here. So I have 9 plus 16 plus 36 plus 64 plus 144. And we have 269 for the numerator and over 5. And what do you get? So divided by 5, you will get 33.8. Right? So your job is almost done. All you need to do is sub in the value, right? So the standard deviation SD is given by square root. Alright, I hope you can see this entire, this first term inside the square root is given by your this 53.8, right? 53.8 minus, I'm sorry, it's not supposed to come up, just minus your mean bracket square, right? So your mean is 6.6, so you have a square. By the way, the square is just applicable to your 6.6. And now your job is pretty simple. Okay, key in the value into your calculator. So 6.6 square it, you will get 53.8 minus 43.56. Alright, so use your calculator and figure out this. Okay, 53.8 minus 43.56, square root your this 10.24. Alright, very simple, right? I hope you can see it's pretty simple. Alright, because isn't very hard. Okay, so your answer should be 3.2. Is it 3.2? Let me double check. Okay, let me double check my answer. Alright, so it's 3.2. Alright, so the unit is dollars. Okay, the units are never changed, and then for the mean is also in terms of dollars. Okay, so you have already found your mean and your standard deviation of this data set. Okay, so if you have problems, of course you can keep repeating this video. You can watch it again and again so that you understand how I have used the formula here to find the mean and how I have used the formula here to find the standard deviation. Alright, I understand it takes a bit of your time, but it should serve you very well in your exams. Alright, so last but not least, I would like to give a big thank you to all of you, for those who have subscribed to my channel, and for those who haven't, please subscribe to this channel and share this channel with your friends or your friends' children, and hopefully my videos here on my channel serve more people in the future. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.